Hello, this is Marc Dombrowski, Enrolled Agent. I'll give you a quick summary of a top 10 IRS 2022 bad guys and girls. This is from Accounting Today. Number 10, someone named Elias in D.C. was sentenced to over 10 years for trying to steal $31 million in COVID-19 relief stuff. That's like the PPP program, the paycheck program. He bought a Tesla. Now I have a Tesla, but maybe he bought a $150,000 Tesla. Maybe he bought a plaid version. Either way, he had to cough that up and sell all his crypto once they caught him. He had 21 bank accounts that that he also had to liquidate. So that guy's getting 10 years in prison. Now, number 9, Universal Suffering is the name of this one from Accounting Today. Las Vegas tax preparer King Isaac Umrajan got 13 years for filing false returns, aggravated ID theft. He laundered over $9.7 million. I'm sorry, he was laundering and impersonating an FBI agent. That's my favorite. In order to entice someone to that they should be part of this, he actually posed as an FBI agent in tactical gear and a fake badge. So he is going to he got 13 years. Number 8, gentleman named Christopher Burnell. I use that term very loosely, gentlemen. Former sheriff deputy, sentenced to 168 months and had to cough up nearly $7.6 million in restitution after he tried to have the victims invest with him, promising 100% return. Basically, it's a Ponzi scheme. A lot of these things this year in 2022 were Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes basically are give me money with guaranteed return. They use that money to sort of seed some of the payments, giving people back their own money and having some other people invest. So the game is to give them a little bit about what they're getting back, have those people tell other people that you're a great investment source, and they keep investing in you. So you build this huge portfolio. There was a gentleman also named number 7, Michael Dexter Little, was sentenced in Florida to 19 years in prison and had to forfeit $12.3 million after filing 19 through 21 bogus tax returns, claiming a massive fuel tax credit. I mean, that's how you did it. You get greedy. Number 6, husband and wife team of Chrisley Knows Best. Now, I remember these ads. Chrisley Knows Best. Todd Chrisley got 12 years in prison. His wife was sentenced to 7 years in prison for 10 felonies, as well as their accountant, strikes it home to me, was sentenced to 3 years in prison. And this was all over $500,000 that Todd owed. They opened and operated corporate bank accounts in Julie's name only. Once the IRS requested information about those accounts, they transferred the money to corporate bank accounts to a relative. The couple also failed to file returns or pay any taxes 2013 through 2016, when they had their TV show. Conspiracy to defraud banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans. These people are real losers. When you're sitting there, there was 197 episodes for Chrisley Knows Best. They had to make good money. How much greed can you have? But we're going on and on here, because here's the number 5. We're down to our top 5. Fraudulent conspirator Mayhef Bay was sentenced to 11 years. They caused more than $64 million in false refund claims. So those people were filing false tax returns with other people. Number 4, David Benevacz, Benevacz, a former decathlete from the Philippines and former UCLA decathlete, was sentenced to 17 and a half years in prison for fraudulently raising more than $45 million from investors who were told their funds would be used to finance companies marketing vape pens, a scam that stretched for more than a decade. He stole most of the money used to pay for a luxurious house, trips to Vegas, jewelry, design handbags, birthday party for his daughter, and horses. Raised more than $45 million from 100 victims, losing $35 million of it. The restitution is over $35 million that he was supposed to pay. Now, number 3, Paulette Karpoff, the COO of DC Solar, was sentenced to 11 years in prison for her role in the biggest criminal fraud in the history of the Eastern District of California. She controlled Ponzi-like payments that hid the company's lack of third-party revenue, used phony engineering reports to fool investors thinking that DC was a success. That's part of this. You've got, when you do these Ponzi schemes, you've got to manufacture return investment reports, portfolios of companies that you want people to buy stock in. You may manufacture the whole thing. You make up a fake portfolio for fake companies, have people invest in them. And as long as you're giving them a little bit of money and then kind of apologizing, oh, I know I told you 100%, I'm only giving you 50%, blah, blah, blah. And eventually you just cut off some of the people at the top, and it's this huge Ponzi scheme just keeps growing and growing. In November of 2021, her husband, Jeff, was sentenced to 30 years in prison in order to pay $790 million in restitution. Down to our last top 2 from the IRS. Midnight at the Oasis is this from Accounting Today. Michael J. DeCorda of Sarasota, Florida, was sentenced to 23 years in prison for conspiracy to commit wire fraud and mail fraud, money laundering, filing false tax return. For 8 years, he ran an investment company, Oasis International Group, where he and his co-conspirators persuaded 700 victims to invest in Oasis, causing losses of more than $80 million. They used the money to perpetrate a scheme to fund lavish lifestyles, which again, these people go over the top. And then he underreported his 2017 return, claiming a negative income and wanting a refund. That's where, like, greedy people, it's the old thing, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Number 1, lawyer Michael Avenante was, I'm saying that wrong, Avenante was sentenced to 14 years in prison for defrauding 4 of his clients out of millions and obstructing IRS attempts to collect payroll taxes from his coffee business. He must also pay $10.8 million in restitution to his clients and the IRS. The 14-year sentence will be conserved consecutively for the sentences he's already serving. He's in California prison after being convicted of stealing from Stormy Daniels, if you remember that, the film actress, and he represented her in her legal fight with Donald Trump. He also was convicted for extorting millions of dollars from Nike. So that is the top 10 tax crooks of 2022 out of from Jeff Stimson of an Accounting Today news article. And just want to say thank you to myCPE for promoting our website. Thank you.